How did this happen to me? What's going on?" Hans asked as he loomed over his sleeping human body. Suddenly the bedroom door opened. Hans then saw Eric enter the room. "Hans, I talked to the king and—" "Wolf!" Eric yelled as he grabbed his crossbow from his back and prepared to shoot the wolf standing over Hans' sleeping form. Eric, you have to help me. No, Eric, it's me, your younger cousin. Ah!" Hans' wolf form yelled, but to Eric it only sounded like barking and whimpering. "I have to get out of here," Hans thought to himself as he dashed past Eric, while Pavlova was nodding her head towards the bedroom door, to which Hans ran out of with her as a guide. He ran downstairs, out of the toy shop and into the night all by himself. "Thanks to Pavlova, I was able to escape. I have to find out how to turn back into a human. I have to find Clara," Hans thought to himself as he hurried out of the gates of the village where the guards were sleeping. And with a little luck, Hans was able to sneak past them through the drainage system leading outside of the wall. Hans then rushed into the woods, heading for Clara's den. "I have to find Clara. I have to find Clara," he panted as he rushed through the woods. Once he reached the cave in the secret den, Hans found himself surrounded by Clara's growling wolves. He then looked around to see Clara and her older sister's human bodies asleep on the same mat he had seen earlier that day. And standing before the two girls was Clara's light brown wolf form growling at him. "Clara!" Hans exclaimed. "Hans!" Clara's wolf form said in realization as she and the other wolves stopped growling. "Something's happened to me," Hans exclaimed with his head and tail hung low. "Yes, I can see that," Clara stated as she circled Hans. "Oh, I don't get it. I thought I fixed the bite. I thought you'd be fine." "Oh, Louise, Pantaloon, and Trudy are gonna kill me," Clara exclaimed, glancing at her sleeping sister. "Well, my cousin will kill me," Hans stated as the other wolves began to sniff him curiously, making Clara frown. "Hey, stop sniffing and give him room," she ordered, making the wolves stop and sit down as she examined Hans. "Well, you seem to have made it out of the town without getting injured, and you look pretty great as a wolf, too," she stated. "It's great! I'm a wolf walker!" Hans yelled. "I know. Everyone in my pack said this would be bad. Okay, so the outfits say never to bite anyone, ever. But I love what it's done to you. Now you're one of us, and you'll be adding to the wolf walker population." Hans frowned. "Clara, it is bad. I'll get killed like this, all right? What about my body back at home?" Hans exclaimed, worried. "It's asleep, nice and warm," Clara exclaimed as she gestured her head to her sister's sleeping human body, and as well as her own. "Look, you're a person when you're awake, and a wolf when you're asleep. No big deal," she stated simply. But the soldiers, the king and my cousin, they're hunting wolves," Hans said in a state of panic. "There has to be a way to undo this," he said, but to his dismay, Clara shook her head. "I'm sorry, Hans, but once a human is turned into a wolf walker, they stay one forever. That's how this whole thing was set to work," she stated. "How did this happen to you, anyway? Were you and your siblings and parents bitten by wolf walkers?" he asked. Clara sighed. "No, me and my siblings, parents, and the rest of our pack were all born wolf walkers, but the story of our kind takes place many generations ago. They say a small village accused an old woman of witchcraft, and before executing her, she cursed the people to walk as wolves when their human bodies lay asleep. And if any harm came to them in their wolf body, that wound would appear on their human body as well, and if it was bad enough, it could kill them. And she called these people wolf walkers. She also said the curse would be passed down to all of their descendants. However, she also gave the cursed people the power to heal. Since she wasn't a terrible, evil person, she was only a person who wanted acceptance in the world, and soon the people who killed her would know what that felt like too. And so she gave them the power to teach the same lesson to other humans as well. So if a human is bitten by a wolf walker, they become one too," Clara said, finishing the origin and story of the wolf walkers. Hans was speechless for a moment. "So that's it? I'm stuck like this for the rest of my life?" he questioned blankly. Clara frowned. "It may seem like a curse, but personally I like being a wolf walker. It's so much better than being a wolf than a person. Much more fun. Come on, I'll show you." She led Hans out of the cave along with the other wolves, and stopped right in the entrance. "Okay, listen closely. A wolf is a mighty animal. We have the ability to track anything with our noses. Our sight and hearing are very strong as well. And finally, we're fast." Clara stated, pacing in front of Hans a few feet away. Now, can you smell me? She questioned. Hans took a deep breath through his wolf nose and gasped. Lavender and wildflowers. I smell them as if they're being held right up to my nose. Clara giggled. That's not even the half of it. Come on, let's go for a run. The forest is ours at night, she said as she ran out of the secret wolf den, and with her pack and Hans sprinting close behind her, she picked up speed with her wolf legs. I can't remember the last time I felt so alive and free, Hans thought to himself as he and Clara ran side by side with the wolf pack following close behind them. After spending nearly an entire night running and exploring the woods, Hans told Clara he had to head back to town before the sun rose again. Well, town boy, this is as far as I can take you. Again, Clara told Hans when the two of them had arrived at the edge of the forest, where they had only been the day before in their human forms. Are you sure the pack will be okay roaming the forest by themselves? Hans questioned as he gazed back into the forest. Oh, don't worry, they'll be fine. I sprung every trap yesterday, so we'd be safe tonight, Clara replied. Hans' face then relaxed at his friend's words, and he gazed at her. Even as a wolf, Clara is so beautiful, especially in the moonlight, Hans thought to himself, as he then looked back at the town with Clara and sighed. I'm scared, was all he was able to say. Yes, I understand. A town is no place for a wolf, or a wolf-walker for that matter, she stated. I know. If they don't shoot me, they'll cage me, Hans replied, making Clara's eyes widen. No, they mustn't. I know. You could come with me and my sister when we go back to our main pack. I'm sure the Alphas and the others would accept you. You're a wolf-walker now. You'd be safe, and we wouldn't have to say goodbye to each other, Clara trailed off bashfully. Hans could only stare at Clara as her light-colored fur shined in the moon's glow. I want that so much, Hans said hesitatingly. Clara raised an eyebrow at his words. But, she questioned, but what about Eric? He's my cousin, and true, he can be difficult, to say the least, but he's the only family I have left. And we both promised our uncle when he died that we'd look out for each other. I really do want to go with you, Clara. I really do. But I just don't know if I can leave my cousin, Hans said, his wolf ears and tail drooping low. I understand how you feel. I'm not leaving this place without my sister Louise, was all Clara could say softly. There was a moment of silence before Hans spoke up. Do you think someone might have, he started, but Clara cut him off. No! No one can catch my big sister, she stated stubbornly. I'm sorry, Clara. We'll find her, I promise, Hans said sincerely. Clara perked up. Yes, there's two of us now, after all. When you and your sister are reunited, then you two can go with your pack and safely leave, Hans said. You'll think about coming with us at the very least, right? Clara questioned. Hans sighed. Of course I will. I better be heading back now. I'll see you tomorrow at the place we agreed on, the wolf boy said as he rushed back off to the town. I'll be waiting for you, Clara said softly as she turned back into the woods and ran back to her den.